Good evening, everyone. I'm out for another investigation in Northeast Ohio along one of the many beautiful wild and scenic rivers of Northeast Ohio. We're going to do a hiking adventure / investigation here. So if you see something, you hear something, say something. Okay. Alrighty. This is T-Mac for T-Mac's American Experience. We got an adventure to go on here tonight, and I need you to come with me here on this. All right, we're doing the investigation. All right, now that you got to see my face, I got the thermal running. Okay, we are looking for wildlife, signs of wildlife, especially the predator activity. And in this spot, we are looking for the reports are of, here in Ohio, we call it the Grassman. Other areas of the country is known as Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti, or whatever else you feel like calling it. Also in this area, some creatures that were kind of what you would call closer to what Dogman type were sighted down here. And yes, I say sighted as in people have reported that. Okay, so that's some of the stuff here. Also, our predator activity. Our bears are mostly hibernated. It is a very cold night. It is 17 degrees currently with the wind chill down to 9. And we have a little light flurry going on. So we'll cover some of the basis of this first here. We're right at sunset. First of all, sun just set, and so we still have a little bit of light left from it. I'm going to go over some of the noise pollution. You're going to probably hear, it's Northeast Ohio, you're probably going to hear trains, okay, in this area. And we're going to probably hear some freeway interstate traffic because we're not terribly far from one of the interstates in Northeast Ohio. And just checking, there's a car going by on the road there. Just double checking to see who that was, if I knew him or not. So it is chilly. It is very chilly tonight. Okay, so we're going to be heading down this trail here. We're going to be on an adventure here, and we're going to explore this area good. I do have the audio recorder, and I'm going to get that going now too. And then we're going to start once I see that this is recording. Okay. All right, we have audio going. So again, drop things in the comments. This is interactive. But we're going to start off here. Well, we have a touch of daylight to explore around this area. This area is noted, definitely a lot of deer over here, and I'm trying to look at tracks that I see going up around here on this, because we do got some people tracks back here, but these are those look like deer tracks. The thermal camera picks up good with these footprints, these signatures on this. Okay. So it does appear those are deer. The snow's pretty fresh, so these tracks are actually pretty fresh, I would say. And because they cross right over the people tracks, it looks like the people tracks are probably older. We got a high ridge line on one side. We got the river over there. I'm going to try to stay away from the bank one. It's very icy. Looked like it has gone up over the shoreline, and it gets a little noisy up over there too with the water. So we're going to start heading out. We got to check this ridge line. This ridge line is definitely an area of concern. We got a ways to hike back here, and then we'll be coming back probably the same way we came in. Only it'll be a lot darker at that point. It is wicked cold again. Just, I was looking at yesterday going out because the winds were down, but it was, at the time that would have been able to go for the hike, it was 3 degrees with the wind chill of -9. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to stay inside tonight. Okay, we got animal tracks moving all along, like along the ridge line there. But those look like those are probably your deer tracks. Those don't really look like they're anything bigger than that. I mean, the deer is good size, but that just doesn't look like that's going to be anything other than deer. And right at sunset, right at dusk, it's a good time to get out. That's when a lot of the predators are out. When the coyotes especially like to be active. And again, we're going to see if this area has any activity of what we would call the Ohio Grassman. And I'm not going to give much of the backstory on this area I'm in, because I got some stalkers and everything. So I'm going to try to keep some of that. If you happen to say, hey, I recognize that place, I'm going to tell you right now, no, you don't. But anyone who drops a location in there is going to be removed, because now you're getting into my safety. Okay, those are definitely some deer tracks going up there. Wicked cold, which cold plus activity equals a runny nose, pretty much. At least this kind of cold. I'm going to try to get a good scan of this high ridge line that there is there. And at least we got some good powder, I guess you'd say, on the trail, so it's not as crunchy as some of my other hikes. But winter here in Northeast Ohio has been relentless. Several of the areas in Northeast Ohio are well over 100 inches of snow, which is typical year. But it's just been wicked cold. And so you can hear some of the traffic off in the distance. And I can hear the rushing of the water, which is why I'm trying to stay away from it. Because despite it being this cold, water is not frozen up. It's because it's a pretty deep river. I do got a good view through the woods, which is hopefully going to be beneficial to me. on this though, definitely wanting this recorder to be able to pick up the sounds of this valley. So I'm going to try and keep it down. Most of you guys that know me know I'm a bit of a talker, so I can't make guarantees. But I'm going to try to, because I want this recorder, if there's any sounds of anything going off, I want this thing to catch it. I am very concerned with this ridge line. Anything that's on that can definitely have the high ground on me. And has been my experience with this. You know, I mean, whoever throwing rocks, sticks, and everything else at me, screaming at me, I would identify it as the Grassman, but whatever you want to call it, has always, it's always done one thing, it's always had the high ground. Rarely ever are my encounters on a level footing. It seems like they always want the tactical advantage. So I do gotta try and get a 6 check here. You can hear the rushing of the river and the interstate, some of the semis engine braking. And so far, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of deer track, but not much else. This is from some sort of animal here, but I can't see, cannot really tell the prints. Doesn't look like deer, and because it has some it's like it took a whiz in that area, so and a dump. It's definitely not deer. That may actually be more of a sign of our predator activity. I love the snow is like sticking to the trees like this. It is actually very beautiful. Do got a heat signature high up in the tree. I mean, really high. Yeah, like not worth trying to get to. That's really high. 60 feet up in the air, high. So, it doesn't look like it's gigantic either, so. You know it's cold out when my temperature range on my thermal, the top end, the warm end, is just about 10 degrees and the low end is -4. That definitely means we got a cold night. Temperature is supposed to drop down into the single digits. My hands are gonna freeze up. I'm gonna try to, that was a 6 check too. I know that was a kind of a quick pan. I'll try to slow it down. Just want to try to get a good scan through the area. Trying to keep an eye on that ridge line. Again, that's my area of concern. I'm going to move up closer to the ridge line here. Just try to get a good scan of this. Okay, so nothing much. And it is getting dark. So I think we're gonna have to fire up the O-light. But we're gonna put it about halfway. That way we can check tracks. Let's see, what do we got here? Those look like we might have a coyote here. It's definitely what that looks like. Those look a lot like coyote tracks. It's hard to tell though. But that is, yes. I can see those are not deer. I do believe we have some of our signs of our predators there. Objective. Gosh, my nose just will not, it's not going to quit. It's not going to give up on me here. And I'm going to see if I can unfortunately, my hands are starting to go numb. Aha. Okay, pardon me a second here. Fortunately, this is part of winter hiking. My left hand is about to freeze off. Yeah. I try to only point this at the ground for the sake of predator stuff, which that definitely seems like that is in the area of what you'd say is a coyote. That's why they're sniffing around on things, marking their territory and doing what canines do. those animal tracks there. They're taking off deep into the woods. We got our coyote tracks right over here. And why I say they're coyote and not those ones look like those ones might be deer right there. I see that, but why I say those other ones are coyote and not dog is because of where they came from and where they're going. If they were a domestic, they would be beginning the end to end following these human tracks. It looks like probably we have right around here squirrel, or the way those are, it's possibly rabbit. Kind of see that looks like larger back feet hopping up and down the tree there. So I'm not sure exactly. A little bit of snow coming down, so it's gonna look like a bit of a snow globe in here. And this winter's had some pretty wicked storms, and look at it. That looks pretty fresh. We just had some storms go through with some very high winds and extremely cold temperatures. Was driving down here, on the road near here, I had like 4 deer out right in front of me. And I sometimes have that, like my drive to places, I'll see more wildlife than on the hike. Trying to pull my light away to see if we have anything giving off light up there. I'm gonna try to get scanned into both sides here. Definitely a lot of critters crisscrossing the woods. Can't tell exactly. keep hitting the glare of something up on the top of that hill there, but it's just a glare of like a road sign. Again, this is a hiking trail, so I'm not the only one who comes back here. There we go, we got a train in the background. Like a camping area. Doesn't look like it's like the people tracks end here. That's not where I'm going to end. I'm going in deeper. We got quite a few trees down on the path back here. As I gotta switch hands, my right hand's starting to freeze up now too. Let's see, what kind of tracks am I following here? Looks like deer. I apologize, I'm sniffling. I cannot get that to quit. Some of that's just weather related. I'm just trying to check these because I really can't tell what that is. Every time I bend over, though, my nose wants to just go haywire. Darn it, wrong pocket. I'm gonna try and so I got my hands are icy, very, very icy. Whatever I did with that Kleenex, it's gone now. I thought I put it in the left pocket, but it's not there, and it's not in the right pocket. So, just kind of sucks to be me on that. Trees are really downed. Oh, look at this one here. That one, a woodpecker. Looks like it's gone to town all on this. to see if there's any discernible thermal hits. I definitely need to get some hand warmers. Okay, I got both sides of this little stream. Both sides of it have branches down over it. That's interesting. You can see the water's definitely flowing there. Just mostly froze up. Let's see if I can get across this without biffing it here, because it is icy. Oh, it went through the ice. I want to get a view of this cut. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. We got trees downed all over by it. See animal tracks going up the side that are probably our deer. But this is an absolute beautiful spot here. Got this cranked up as high as I can get it. And I'm gonna check the other way here too. It's a very quiet night. I don't want to duck underneath this. I'm gonna try to go around it if I can. I see some kind of animal has run across the top of this. Again, probably our squirrels. Dead ahead of us here is a really big tree. Catch the top of that. It may not look like it on the outset, but that's actually a pretty big tree. See, we got a mix of pine trees along with the leafy kind and very big trees around here. Our freeway traffic is getting a bit louder as I go back here. Man, it got darkened back here quick. Now look at on the side of this hill. You can see the animal tracks are just crisscrossing all along the side of that. That's got to be a treacherous climb even for animals. You can see where they slid over here. Thought I just had heard right at the end of my last sentence. Thought I heard something almost like the sound of like a bird or something. And I'm just saying straight what I heard. Don't know if that's the case or not. Definitely looks like, look at all, they're all crisscrossing across this hill. That's a loud semi. And unfortunately, that sound's gonna kind of skew the sound of anything else. So I'm only going to go back here just a little bit further. I do want you to remember that what I'm capturing here is merely a snapshot of this moment. What I don't capture doesn't mean it's not around here, just that I didn't capture it at this moment. Now this is interesting tracks, and it's going to make me step more. Those are deer. I can see those clearly. Deer track. Apologize, I'm sniffling too much here. It's driving me nuts. And trust me, driving me way more nuts than you. So I do have chronic sinus and breathing problems. Unfortunately, that comes from my tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. I've developed problems. So it does look like the path goes back here further, but our traffic noise is going to just get louder. And it's weird because the traffic noise is getting louder, but we're getting more and more isolated as we go back further. Just so that you understand, we're moving further and further away from civilization, although it doesn't sound like that. Because you cannot get to the interstate from this path along the river. But you, that sounds like an owl. There's another big tree. There we go. I got it. Sounds like an owl hooting. Yep. It's hooting away. There it goes again. I mean, it's definitely, I know. It's literally doing the very classical who. But it sounds, I don't know how to say this. It sounds different. We're just going to go a little bit further up this way, and then we're going to turn back. I definitely try to give you guys totality of circumstances. There it goes again. I do have what appears to be some sort of thermal signature far back. And there's our owl again. It's still kind of hooting away, or hooing. Literally sounds like who, not hoot. So if it is just an owl, which maybe it is, maybe it isn't, you can drop in the comments what you think. I still like catching that. Okay. All right. We're just going to go up by this broken tree, and then we're going to turn around. This is as far as we're going to go. See the reflection of a marker up there. And we're going to turn around and start to trek back. Keep having to switch hands to keep the warm flashlight in one hand there. There goes our owl. He's still hooting. Thought I heard something else faintly in the back like almost like a howl. Okay. All right. And there are many species of owls in this area. All very active in the wintertime. So I cannot tell you yay or nay if that's what that is. But I have the audio recording, and we'll see if that has picks that up better. I'm sure that freeway traffic will be obnoxious on the audio. Man, is it dark back here. Can't believe how they're able to walk up that steep hill like that. If I tried going up that hill, I'd probably hurt myself. Let me see without the lights. You still got, because the camera gives it a little bit of light, but you can see pretty dark back here. Sound of another train. I'm going to try and move down across the stream here. Actually, I gotta switch hands here with stuff to try to do that. Because this is slippery. I need to get some better, darn it. Get a good shot of that. And then at some point my nose has got to run out of stuff. Yeah, going through the ice here. Alright, we made it across. Now, you may note I'm not doing much in the way of taunting or anything. And I'm just kind of trying to see from walking back here, just like, say, a regular person would on some sort of a hike or whatever, even though we're at night. Okay. What they would encounter. If I see something and there's a reason to do some taunting, like I get a thermal hit or we hear something else, then I will start to do some taunting. Like any rocks thrown at me, it will be game on. Those animals have been all over the cliffside, mostly deer. Evidently, they're pretty good hill climbers. Starting to crunch through the snow a little more. Now again, I'm taking a bit of a different approach here. This is what, like someone just hiking normally would come across. Again, if I start to get some sort of activity, then we will try to agitate. It's me going through a stick. Gotta switch hands here so left hand doesn't freeze off. Flashlight's nice and warm. And I'm keeping it on high. I'm eating the battery quick. Now, again, some of what I'm doing here too is I know this is an area where I've been showered with rocks, trees knocked over, screams, all kinds of creepy stuff during the spring through fall when I've been back here. One of the things I'm wanting to see is, are they hanging out here on some of the coldest winter nights too? Or do these things need to, when it's this cold, do they need to lay low? Do they move on to some other areas? That's kind of what we're trying to figure out. And by these things, I mean our grassman. They're the ones who showered me with the rocks. I mean, some of the stuff we may have to wait till spring or just a little bit warmer weather. Again, this winter has been relentless and beastly cold. And sometimes, again, I got an audio recorder going, I got a thermal going. We're doing, and along with the regular camera, we're thoroughly covering this area. And some of that, I'm not going to catch everything in person. It is, but I may be able to catch it, and in review, we may find something. I'm not seeing all of those tracks, and I am just not catching them. Six check there. Some of those vehicles on the interstate are loud. And I actually think that one is a propeller prop plane making that loud buzzing noise. Wait a second here. I have a thermal hit, I think. See around some of this. I can't. That might not be an animal. That may just be a water flow channel. That's kind of what it looks like. But it's actually up to 32 degrees, which is making me think that's something alive. I can't tell, unfortunately. Well, my thermal's kind of struggling to pick up across this open field here. Usually doesn't, but it's definitely struggling. I don't know if we're getting like a little bit of fog or something, or we do got some light snow coming down. It is interfering with that. Not seeing anything of note. Again, I got a thermal hit very high up in a tree. That's that same one I was talking about earlier, though. And that may be, it's right up there. But if that is anything, it might be an animal inside a hollowed out tree. man. Quiet night on a lot of fronts here. Just all the way around, quiet. I do hear a jet aircraft heading over. See back there, look at the big X. X marks the spot. I don't know if that's what that is or not. I gotta bear with me here, a little bit of if I can manage it, which I don't know if I can. Trying to do some equipment adjustment. Again, pretty thick, deep woods. It's on a dirt road that's really, they don't plow or do anything on it. So there's very little activity down here in the winter. Which is one of the reasons I thought, because there is such little activity down here in the wintertime, why this would be a good place to check. Unfortunately, don't have. It's an area you think you're gonna see with all the tracks. You're gonna see some of this wildlife, but unfortunately, it's just not looking that way. Switch hands here because right hand is getting too cold. Left hand's nice and toasty. Okay. I want to say we're not out of the woods yet. Even though we're starting to get up where, see those lights there? Those are houses that are on the valley rim, opposite side of the river. And they're still not completely close to me, but they're closer. I guess you'd say closer to what you'd say civilization is. Let's do just a 360 scan here. There's our 6. Some ice straight ahead here. I try to get over that here without busting my rear on it. Okay. So I know a little quieter on this one. Not as many jokes. I guess more of because I got this audio recorder going. I definitely want to hear what that picks up, and I don't want my voice in the way of distorting things. And again, none out of the woods yet. Because I do got a pretty big history with this place. Of a lot of creepy things. I guess maybe I got a touch of a more serious attitude. But again, it's my audio recorder. I think it's more of it. So I can see the road from here. But I do want to try and scan the last bit of this ridge line. Get a 6 check. Now again, we've had like 3 days in a row of some blistering cold. Tonight's another one of those nights. Everything, including a grassman, maybe just trying to stay warm on nights like this. So, maybe hunkered down. I'm not sure. So, I do want to try and get out on the dirt road a little bit and check a little bit down this old road. through my exit area here. And try and keep an eye on things. Last look in here. But if I get onto the dirt road, I can still scan some of this wooded area while I'm walking to the car. Okay, now remember, this is just a snapshot of this moment. And again, it's very cold, difficult weather, even for any type of animal. Okay. Okay, there's houses on the ridge line up there. But we're going to try and scan over here a little bit. Okay, so I do, well, I'm going to attempt and check this other side, which is just, it's a game land there, open, it's more wooded area, but some of it's more just those thorns. It's just acres and acres of thorns. Okay. So I do want to say a few little shout outs. That sounded like a domestic up the hill. Okay, do want to say a couple little shout outs here. To my Oklahoma girls, Maddie, Addie, Erica, Hattie, and Jubilee. Just a great thank you for your support. To Mr. and Mrs. Dan Frakes, Pastor Frakes. Thank you very much to Nancy, to Sue, Kathy, Goodnato, Steve, David Doggenbaum. All you guys, I greatly appreciate you. It's very quiet down here. And we could try a little bonus feature here of checking up along the water by the bridge. Okay, so it's very quiet tonight, which is what I like for these hikes. Just unfortunate that I know the wildlife is here. You see all the signs of it. It's frustrating when you know they're here, but you're unable to capture them. And that's in part because, like I said, this is a snapshot. I'm using equipment that takes batteries, and they only got so much life in them. And then you gotta, I mean, you have to call it and come back another night maybe, because I think this area is definitely worth that. Stuff that's happened here in the past. Definitely makes it worth it. We're going to get up over here and look down the river. Now it's this cold, and man, that water is not frozen up. It's definitely raging good there. I got a car coming down this road, so I'm kind of just going to hold my position. Until that car decides to go past me. And we'll try to catch some images here. It's a Jeep. That explains why it came down this way. Four-wheel drive vehicle. I'm going to check a little bit on this side. I don't know how much we can see over this way. Not really much. All right, guys and girls. All you guys who've been part of the community here, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate you. We'll hopefully have I don't know if there may be more stuff that's caught in there. That's why we always got to look. But, you know, you just never know. So, but I thank you for joining me on this hike. Make sure that you drop comments in, what you think of it. And, again, be polite in the comments. No drama. No drama at all. Okay. And, we'll be back at another time. I'm going to turn this off while I head back to the car, but I'm going to leave the audio rolling. So if I do catch something, I'll click the cameras back on, but if something makes a sound, my audio will pick it up. And for that note, this is T-Mac for T-Mac's American Experience on a very cold winter night here in Northeast Ohio, saying God bless you.